step 48, I think, in technique 3 that we need tomorrow, right? Yeah, and then there's part B to technique 4. And then there's, of course, the 4 aquatone ones that I have to get down before I see you again. So I won't have the luxury of staying and getting this activated for me tonight. I've got it on a subharmonic run, which is good enough. But I will hand you over to our dear beloved Az and Technique Man. And hope you've enjoyed the workshop so far. At least you get to lay down for this one, right? So if you fall asleep, you don't fall off your chair. All right, I will give this to you. See you in the morning. Bye.
I've changed the approach to the next section with a view to sending you to bed earlier instead of later. Because reviewing the 2 techniques to come, there is just one particular section of the long one where if I don't talk to you and act a little bit on up here, it will cause mayhem when you lie down in there. I assure you it might. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the section of the technique that I recognize could cause difficulty, not necessarily for everyone, but for some people. It might be confusing, and I don't want you to get lost in the middle of a very important technique. So I'm going to run through just a chunk of the second technique we're going to do tonight. Make sure that you understand it, and that is the only part that I have an anxiety about needing to do that. So instead of doing a read through of both of them completely and spend an hour doing it and then spending another hour out there where you're lying down, that isn't absolutely necessary. I'm going to concentrate on the part that I need to. So we're going to do that here first. All right? So I don't want you to rush off into the next room quite yet. I know. I've worked through it anyway. I've actually done that technique at home.
I was trying to get the diagram done.
It's okay. It's all right.
It's still like stuck on the group
it's the way it's written. It drove me mad to begin with. Anyway, before I go there, though, because of several people have approached both of us, but me mostly. And they've been talking about the canvases, and it's become clear to me that I've not communicated to Tammy and perhaps Mac in as clearly as I should have done. So just give me just 2 minutes, and I'll deal with that. An idea was brought to us from the Australian office, from Georgie and Maddie, a guy. And they were introducing what you see on the floor, which in fact is a canvas reproduction of extremely high quality, right, in multiple colors, not just the standard 4 process colors either. But we communicated by email, we asked a lot of questions, and originally we began by thinking that the beginning of the Adashi, because Ash and I operate a separate art thing that isn't doing anything yet, but we were going to actually have a gallery in Phoenix. And we commissioned this work, and rather than pull out at an embarrassing moment as far as the Australians were concerned, because we were then becoming aware of our being recommissioned and being moved into the resuming control of the Grual business from a Florida location, arrangements for others to assume stewardship of Shalon were all in the works. There were a lot of things going on. And rather than upset anybody's apple cart, we just continued to allow these things to be produced. And not really focusing much on it, but thinking that, well, maybe it could be something that members of the group would appreciate. So what I'm doing is clarifying, first of all, the things that are on display are not our personal property anymore. There's an intention that they may become exhibition pieces, all right? But we haven't got the facility where we're going to go anymore, so the idea of them being used in that way is just squashed, all right? We have stolen one from ourselves because Ash and I funded these personally anyway, because it was just the way it was. And we've really brought them in now as samples that you can touch, feel, gaze at, and whatever else. They're really there to show you what is possible, what is interesting, like the Mahadra, for example, being a perfect thing to put under your mattress. Absolutely wonderful. And we will be doing the very same thing ourselves. We'll be ordering one for that very purpose. But the thing is this, that they're there to stimulate an indication of interest, but through pre-ordering, right? Georgie very kindly has offered to transport them before every workshop so that there aren't any shipping costs, because these are unique in the production process out of 20 years' work and development by a particular person in Australia, okay? They're not... Yeah. I'm going to finish now. I want to clear it now. I just want to clear this out. I'm finishing, right? Right. 2 more words. The ones on the floor are available for sale. and they are there to stimulate pre-orders. That's the end of what I wanted to say. Thank you. And why don't you do the same, Puppet?
Well, I'm staying only for the reason of when you're trying to explain this, I don't have the diagram, but I got a body. So we can just show the flows. Point.
Stand still a minute.
Okay, wait. Well, I got to let them see my feet, though.
Okay. Okay.
Let me explain one thing before you
Look,
start. Can I explain one thing?
First of all, if you add a foot to that, you've got 4 feet, all right?
Okay. Right.
That, the top of this stick is 4 feet above Ash's head, okay? So you know where 4 feet is, first of all.
I just want to explain one thing that I didn't explain yet. We also, as we have the smaller flows, you know, the little I hate this word, pentagal. Yeah, it's a G with an accent mark EL at the end, a pentagal flow. We also have a big one that runs the body. And there are actually more than one. We have one that goes with the D2 window. We have one that goes with the D3 window. The D2 window one is supposed to be counterclockwise. So when we start opening the flows, and we literally have to, and I believe, and I hate the dyslexic part on this, you'd have to read this to me, right? But I think it comes from the top down here. Yeah. Yeah, is that on this one or is that on the other one? Yeah, it goes. If you imagine that you have a big pentagonal, right, flow, and it's in a circle, right? And if you were going to push it to go in the right direction, you'd use the left hand pushing it this way, right? And that will get it in relation to your body going in a counterclockwise flow, right?
From the front of your own body, right? If you stand outside and look back at yourself, it's going counterclockwise.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Counterclockwise like a Merkaba spin.
No, this is a vertical.
We're talking about this plane.
And you'll actually have what looks like a pentagonal spinning where its top starts to go down this way, right? And then comes down by your feet and then comes back up this way. And there's a point where we use the breaths. I believe what do? We exhale down and inhale up, right? Where you end up going, exhale down as the point spinning down, then inhale back up. I wanted to explain this because that was driving me nuts. Yeah. Yeah, and fortunately we don't have to do the other technique that has to do with opening the door, because then you have to get the one going in the other direction going, and there's a point where you get them both going in opposite directions and start to activate the fields. So I just wanted to be the Vanna White character here, right? You can point at the point. Why don't you read that and just point? Use me as the diagram I don't have, right? The diagram is going to look like a person, like this, right? Where you see where the flows go. And, so.
Well, I need that, but you need to do the actions, right?
Yeah.
I get denied so many opportunities to enjoy myself, you understand? Now then, what you will hear, okay, and this is the bit that I wanted to make really clear. We'll just get into it. Initially, exhale firmly using the breath to push a pale aqua living water spark from the azure water seat upward to the top point of your three-dimensional pentagonal grail window and into your D3 Tiwa window to free the organic counterclockwise spin of the D2 telluric physical grual radial body with its inherent D2 pentagal circulation. Inhale, focusing your attention upon the top point of your three-dimensional pentagonal grail window, 48 feet above your head. 48 inches. Up there.
You've got the window coming down, then you have the pentagonal flow inside of it.
And while you're doing all of that, hold the breath at the top of the inhale. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. Raise the left arm fully extended over your head, then exhale forcefully while using the left hand on extended arm to push over the head toward the right in synchronization with the release of the exhale to manually set the D2 telluric physical grual radial body and pentagel circulation into organic counterclockwise spin, while keeping the D2 grual three-dimensional pentagonal grail window stationary.
The window stays still around you, but the pentagonal goes.
No, we said...
In relation to Your own body. That.
Look, the thing that I would have said to you anyway, whether you want to argue about whether this counterclockwise or clockwise is correct, the way that you're moving this is you're moving it from the left to the right. That is what you need to do.
If you are a clock, your body is the clock. This is the face of the clock. This is 12. This is 3. This is 9. That is 6. You are moving it from 12 to 9 to 6 to 3. That is a counterclockwise. Okay? If you were going to look at a clock, you would see it running backwards. Right? That's a counterclockwise spin. Same way when we do the other one, if we want clockwise, we would actually, I'm sorry, this is counterclockwise when you do it this way, because it would be coming down this way and back around, and you are the clock. That's the difference. Okay? When we want it the other way, you'd use the right hand and push it to the left, right, to get the clockwise. So that's the difference there. It helps to think of I am the clock, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. There's another part in here that you really should go over is from right foot to what foot to who to where.
I know.
Right.
I know. So this goes on. So can we just get used to just a very simple shift in the way that we think about rotation? In this stage, we're looking at ourselves as if we're a clock. We're outside of ourselves, looking back at ourselves. And the direction is as if we were looking at a clock on the wall. All right? That's all. And nothing to get uncomfortable about.
Right. Same way we look at the Pythagoreans.
Yeah. But the thing is, when you're in there doing this, you're going to be rotating this from your left over your head and down to the right. And down to the next point of focus, which would be your right foot. Okay? Now, when the top point, which began 48 feet.
No.
Glad you're paying attention. The point is up there, okay? So you get it going, and it comes around, and you're feeling it, feeling it, and it comes to the right foot. Things happen when it gets there. Now, when the top point of the slowly counterclockwise rotating D2 pentagel star reaches the position of the right foot, inhale quickly upward from below the feet, using that breath to draw the top point of the bottom-facing D2 pentagel star. And that just means bottom-facing, means that the point that was up there is now down here, okay? So the bottom-facing D2 pentagel star rapidly upward. So you use the breath to... And what you're doing is continuing the rotation of it, right? Right? So it's prescribing a huge circle around you, and you're using the breath to move the pentagel and to build the momentum of it. Later, there will be 12 breaths where we charge it and increase the speed of it as it passes the right foot. All right, we'll count that, and I'll come to it in a little bit. But that's essentially the bit that I knew would be tricky. All right? And then we just repeat 3 more of these same breaths. Okay, exactly as we've done just now. Exhale down right, then inhale up left. So, you exhale, inhale and exhale, and you're pushing it down. And when it gets to the right foot, you inhale and pull it up. Okay? So it comes back to its position, and you repeat that breathing. Exhale and exhale and inhale. Right? That's really all it is. But if I read it straight off the page...
That, and this.
Well, when we're all accustomed to thinking about what does clockwise and counterclockwise mean, it's after the trouble the minute
Well, it's like saying what is left and what is right, depending on if you're talking about what you're looking at or as you, right? You get that mirror reversal. Anyway, I just want to get that. I want to just do that last part so I can get back up and finish what I got.
This is the part we're both talking about now, because we have the benefit of working with this for a few days.
You did.
I did. All right. This is the part that's called amplifying the spin speed, and it really is simple if you just stick to the principles that we're talking about. This one here.
No, that's not a problem.
You know about the power of 12 business?
You can do
it's
with
after
that.
here, not before there.
No, it isn't. It's when you're activating the pentagonal flows, I'm sure.
Well, what's difficult about that?
It could be helpful to see it demonstrated.
Well, I didn't see
This
anything
part.
difficult in it.
This part. Just run them through. I would have had that's where a diagram goes,
Yeah.
right? But I hadn't had a chance to do the diagram.
Excuse us a minute.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Demonstration forthcoming. Then we finish.
Go over that too, but this is the one I wanted to be here to.
You've told me off about that before. Inhale upward
No, you don't have to read that part.
Why?
I wanted you to read just the flows. It starts where it goes to, from the top to what foot, then to what hand, then to the other hand, then
Yeah.
to which foot.
And it
down
would be better,
foot.
this is the one where I said you better have the hands up in this position too, because you're going to push it from straight across the body. You don't want your hands down here. You say pushing from the palm.
You can hold them here.
It'll be clearer,
Yeah.
right?
Basically, the flows you're activating are like this, but you don't have to stand like this, right? It will activate that level of the.
So, but if you like the direct feeling of physically being involved, when you push from one palm to across the body to receive in the other, then if you want to have your hands up here, you can.
Push without the breath stuff. Don't worry
Yes,
about the
ma'am.
breath. Yeah.
Next, inhale this pale aqua living water system stream upward at a slant. What direction?
The parts that only refer to, it starts at the top, right? Goes to where next? Forget the breathing, forget the colors, whatever. Just to get the flow.
I
where
started
the lines
then.
go.
Inhale upward.
It,
I began there.
yeah, but you don't need to talk about the inhales or anything.
I don't.
No, start at the top, right? We're just trying to draw the diagram in 3D. There's
Okay.
a part where there's inhales involved, exhales involved, there's this, that.
Do you mean the
can-
next step?
Just
This one?
where you start to draw the line.
Exhale a pale aqua living water stream downward at a slant.
Yeah.
Okay, that's only 12 words afterwards.
Well, it's this section. What I'm trying to get is just a picture, okay, where they see it starts there, it slants down to what foot, slants up to the other. That's all. I'm sorry, but I'm getting pushed from
Metatron, you're on your bike. Go on, son. Exhale a pale aqua living water stream downward at a slant from the D3 Tiwa window, 72 inches or 6 feet above and behind your head, through the top point of your three-dimensional pentagonal grail window, 48 inches or 4 feet directly above your head, to the small chakra in the ball of your right foot.
So you're actually bringing it down from the D3 window at a slant, but to the right foot. What you're drawing is a pentagonal flow through your body, right? So it's coming down from behind. This one's coming down from a bit behind, but at a slant to your right foot, right? Now the next bit. It's a pentagram type, not pentagram, but pentagonal slant. It's just a star.
Okay.
But this one, counterclockwise, it starts coming down from the top, let's put it easy, and goes to the right foot, right? And then from the right foot, it's going to come up to the left hand. From the left hand, it will go over to the right hand. From the right hand, it will go down to the left foot, and from the left foot, it will go back up. Yep. So simply, that's what I was trying to get across, because I know that can be like, when you're hearing it in the middle of it with breathing and this and color and that kind of go, oh my God, where am I? Right? You're simply drawing a star. And in this counterclockwise one for the D2 level, it will start over here from the point to the right foot, and left hand, then right hand, then left foot, then up. And when we do tomorrow, the other level where you bring the two together, the D3 level and the D2, you have one going in the opposite direction as well as it spins. So it gets like, oh my God, right? So this one, it's only one you have to deal with. And it's the one that goes counterclockwise. That is considered a counterclockwise flow. But you are the star, is basically what it is. And that's the point I wanted to get clear, because I know, as they were telling me this, I'm going, what? Oh, God, we need diagrams. I needed scribble diagrams just to try to get what they were saying. So we haven't had time to do the diagrams yet. I'll try to get them on before this has to go to print, so you have these to take home. But if not, remember what it is. You are the star. And for the left one, it starts just like the spin does. It goes, for the counterclockwise one, it goes first down to the right, just like the spin of the thing. You push over to the right to make the counterclockwise sweep of the spin. Okay? I'm going now. Yeah. Have a very good one. Thank you.
I do appreciate your help with that.
I'm glad.
Anyway, so there you are. Now then, comfort break for 10. 5. Bids on 5, bids on 10. We need to let the boys get the camera set up, and you need your radio stuff, your earpieces and things, so you can hear in there.
This possible break would be good. They want to get this moving before Metatron does.
Yep. Okay, it's chop chop. So while you're settling, I'll just read the introductory part. This is Psi Interactive Technique 1, activating the Grail window, the purpose of which is to open and activate the D2 control Grail window in the D3-D2 Auger body to initiate organic D2 telluric cellular atomic pentagonal transduction, the second step in evolving the body toward organic hydrolase living water production, in preparation for opening the Grail door. This technique opens the atmic translation duct-free spleen, allowing the D2 physical telluric body and I am body consciousness, that's the cellular atomic level, to receive the D3, D2 Grual flows from the D3 3.5 I am ego self, i.e. the atmic field. So we'll begin with the 3 rounds or breaths, the inhale, hold, exhale sequence of the Rasha era Christ Star Now. Please do that in your own time as preparation for the technique. Now we begin by inhaling a spark of hydrolase living water from the water seed at the Azare to the D3 Tiwa window above and behind your head to activate the Tiwa window and turn on the flows of the D3 golden silver 1 light beam and pale aqua hydrolase living water stream. Hold briefly, and then exhale gently, drawing the golden silver 1 light beam downward around your shoulders and the pale aqua living water stream into the catheric duct 4 fontanelle position at the top of your skull. And then breathe easily. While breathing normally, reach both hands upward to the catheric duct 4 fontanelle area above your skull and gather a ball of living water, D3 hydrolase, into each hand, and then bring your hands holding the living water balls downward to rest. So bring your hands down to a rest position, and you will hang the water ball from your left hand in your field, anywhere you like for later use. Keep the remaining water ball in your right hand and place it over the spleen. So bring your right hand holding the water ball of hydrolase over your spleen. What? Oh, the spleen is to the touch your left hip, that will work. Just inside your left hip and up a little bit from there. Now, place the left palm over the back of your right hand. Inhale another spark of hydrolase living water from the water seed at the Azare to the D3 Tiwa window above and behind your head, and hold the breath at the top of the inhale as a metallic rainbow pale pastel heliotalic starburst emerges within the center of the Tiwa window surrounding the living water spark. When the heliotalic starburst emerges, exhale the starburst forcefully downward into the catheric duct 4 fontanelle, then the pineal at the brain center, and then on into the Azare water seed. Breathe easy for a second. Next we're going to inhale into the Azare water seed, and there we'll hold the breath at the top of the inhale to build charge. Inhale into the Azure water seed, hold at the top, build charge, and in a minute in the exhale, we'll use the breath to split the heliotalic starburst in the water seed into two smaller starbursts, sending one small starburst down each arm chord, both arms in other words, through the palms and into the spleen. So exhale forcefully, push the smaller starburst down the arm chords and into the palms over the spleen. And when you've done that, just release your hands from the spleen position. Breathe normally now. Now, take your right hand and go retrieve the second water ball that you left, wherever you left it, hanging in your field. You need now to rock your hips up a little bit so you can take your right hand holding the water ball and place it over the coccyx under your bottom, and having done that, roll in the other direction so you can put your left palm over the back of your right hand. I'll give you half an hour to do this whilst not interfering with anybody adjacent. Now, having got yourself into that position more or less, inhale another spark of hydrolase living water from the water seed at the Azure to the D3 Tiwa window above and behind your head, and hold the breath at the top of the inhale as another heliotalic starburst emerges within the center of the Tiwa window surrounding the living water spark. When the starburst emerges, exhale the starburst forcefully downward into the catheric duct for fontanelle, pineal gland, and Azure water seed, again splitting the heliotalic starburst into two smaller starbursts, sending one small starburst down each arm chord through the palms and into the coccyx. And now you may release your hands from this ridiculous position. Inhale, using the inhale breath to draw a thin, pale aqua cord of living water upward from the coccyx to the spleen and then to the fontanelle. Hold just briefly, and on the exhale, which will be firm, use the exhale to push the pale aqua cord of living water downward from the fontanelle to the Azure thymus area, then all the way down to earth core, using a final exhale puff at the bottom of the exhale to fully empty the lungs, while pushing the end of the living water cord from earth's core through the core membrane and into the core of median ascension earth. Go. And then just breathe normally. Now, whilst you breathe in this gentle way, observe as a sheath of gold and silver light shoots upward from median ascension earth core around the pale aqua living water cord, creating a permanent hydroacoustic umbilical cord ascension line between your body and median ascension earth. Try to sense or feel for the ripples of eternal life force energy emanating from the gold and silver sheath as it follows the living water cord upward through your body and all the way up to the fontanelle. As the gold and silver sheath reaches the fontanelle, inhale and hold the breath at the top, using this inhale to temporarily harness and stop the upward movement of the gold and silver sheath at the fontanelle to build thrust momentum within the hydroacoustic umbilical cord ascension line. Exhale forcefully upward next, using the breath to push the hydroacoustic umbilical cord ascension line upward and into the Tiwa window. Then breathe easily. And as you do that, observe that upon interface with the ascension line, the Tiwa window releases a pulse of electric blue energy downward along the ascension line. Sense this electrical blue pulse as it runs the ascension line downward through your body and out to median ascension earth core. Take your time, but when you sense that the electric blue pulse has passed through you and entered median ascension earth core, Inhale firmly, drawing the electric blue pulse back upward along the ascension line and into the azure. Hold the breath at the top, using the inhale to hold and harness the electric blue pulse firmly within the azure. And you may speak a mental intention quietly to yourself that that is exactly what you have accomplished. Exhale forcefully, using the breath to push the charge of the electric blue pulse off the ascension line and outward into the 12 fire chambers of the light body around you, creating an electric blue 12-point starburst. And then breathe normally. As the electric blue starburst around you disappears, observe that a pop sensation occurs in the biofield around your body, if you can. As this pop occurs, feel a large two-dimensional pentagonal window, the D2 Grail window, open around and through your body. Try to observe or feel or hear a gold and silver electrical crackle sound cycling around the perimeter of the pentagonal Grail window. And breathe easy while you do this. Now the next breaths will consist of 3 rapid inhale-exhale breaths. Each exhale breath is used to push outward and expand the size of the two-dimensional pentagonal Grail window around your body. When you have reached the third and final breath, the final exhale, just return to normal breathing. In your own time, 3 rapid inhale-exhale, using the exhale to push outward and expand the pentagonal Grail window all around your body. And as you breathe easily, you may feel or notice an electrical buzzing sensation occurring throughout the Grail window and rippling through your body. Try to observe the two-dimensional pentagonal Grail window suddenly shifting to become a 3-dimensional crystalline ectoplasmic pentagon structure surrounding your body on the inside of your Christar crystal capsule. Just continue to breathe slowly and easily, slowly and deeply, as a pale aqua living water stream emerges from the D3 Tiwa window and flows into the top point of the 3-dimensional Grail window around you. Continue to breathe slowly and deeply as the 3-dimensional Grail window around you fills up with silken, pale aqua living water. And breathe the living waters and feel a sensation of silken calm, relaxation and healing spread through every cell in your body. And in this way, feel, again, the eternal life force frequencies of the living water all around you and within you. And you return to normal, easy breathing now. Your organic hydroacoustic umbilical cord ascension line is now permanently set, and your D2 telluric Grail window is now permanently opened and ready for activation. After a few moments, the living waters within your 3-dimensional Grail window will dissipate and turn to living air all around you, and your Grail window will go dormant and disappear, but will remain permanently opened. In future, to bring your Grail window out of dormancy, all you have to do in future is to simply take 3 rapid inhale-exhale breaths, using each exhale breath to expand your 3-dimensional pentagonal Grail window outward around your body. Just 3 breaths is all it will take. We move on now to part 2, activating the Grail window. If done at any other time in the future, this must be performed within, they must be performed within 12 hours of each other, essentially. If you wouldn't mind, please, if you just do repeat the Rasha Ira Christar now, 3-step inhale and hold. And just breathe easy for a moment, because next we will use the 3 rapid inhale-exhale breaths once more to bring the Grail window out of dormancy. You will do, as we mentioned at the end of the prior technique, using each exhale breath to expand your 3-dimensional pentagonal Grail window outward around your body, positioning its top point about 48 inches or 4 feet above the top of your head. And that will be its maximum size when you've completed the 3 rapid breaths. So, in your own time, bring your Grail window out of dormancy. Inhale, exhale, and expand. Now, activating the Grail window involves the following. The technique activates the D2 control Grail window, the D2 cellular atomic pentagonal transduction and pentagel circulation. The technique also opens the atmic translation duct 3 spleen, activates the Grual flows, that's the D3 atmic I am ego self, to D2 telluric cellular atomic I am body consciousness. So we begin this rather long technique with setting the field. And we begin by inhaling a spark of hydrolase living water from the water seed at the Azure to the D3 Tiwa window 6 feet above and behind your head to activate the Tiwa window and turn on the flows of the D3 gold and silver 1 light beam and the pale aqua hydrolase living water stream. Inhale a spark of hydrolase living water from the water seed at the Azure up to the Tiwa window 6 feet above and behind your head. Hold briefly, and then next you will exhale, gently drawing the pale aqua living water stream within the gold and silver 1 light beam downward into the top point of your 3-dimensional pentagonal Grail window, which is only 4 feet above your head, then down to the catheric duct fontanelle, and then into the Azure living water seed. Go on. And observe as a tiny gold and silver aqua orb forms in the center of the water seed as a living water stream within the gold and silver 1 light beam interfaces with the Azure. Inhale into the Azure water seed and hold the breath at the top, using the breath to hold and harness the tiny gold and silver aqua orb within the center of the water seed. You will next exhale firmly, using the breath to enlarge and expand the tiny gold and silver aqua orb outward from the Azure water seed until the orb surrounds your 3-dimensional pentagonal Grail window. Return to normal breathing and observe or feel, if you can, a pop sensation occurring in the biofield around your body. As this pop occurs, observe, feel, or hear a gold and silver electrical crackle sound cycling around the perimeter of your 3-dimensional pentagonal Grail window. And feel, if you can, an electrical buzzing sensation occurring throughout the Grail window and rippling through your body. Just breathe easy for a second or 3. Next we'll move on to the section involving the activation of the D2 counterclockwise pentagel circulation of the telluric cellular atomic pentagonal transduction flows. And we do this, or accomplish this, in the following ways. We inhale upward to the D3 T-well window and hold the breath at the top of the inhale within the D3 T-well window. And just hold there briefly, and then we will exhale shortly, a pale aqua living water stream downward at a slant from the D3 T-well window 6 feet above and behind your head through the top point of your three-dimensional pentagonal grail window, which is 4 feet above your head, to the small chakra in the ball of your right foot. Now just intend it flows as you exhale from 6 foot down to 4 foot into the window and down into the small chakra in the ball of your right foot. Now at this point you might want to raise your palms up to shoulder level if you feel inclined. You don't have to, but you might like it. Next, inhale this pale aqua living water stream upward at a slant from the ball of your right foot to the palm chakra of your left palm. Inhale, good. And then exhale in a moment, using the breath to push the living water stream from the left palm horizontally across your chest to the palm chakra in the center of your right palm. And next, inhale while pushing the living water stream downward at an angle from the right palm chakra to the small chakra in the ball of your left foot. Inhale and do that. Right. Now, that's right. Inhale while you're doing that. That's correct. Now exhale using the breath to draw the living water stream upward at an angle from the ball of your left foot back up to the D3 T-well window above and behind your head, completing the circuit of the D2 counterclockwise pentagonal circulation. And then just breathe easy. And we move on now to the third section of the process, activating the D2 pentagonal transduction flows, spinning the fields. Begin by inhaling into the azure water seed and holding this breath at the top to build charge. The exhale is used to push a pale aqua living water spark from the azure water seed upward through the top point of your three-dimensional pentagonal grail window and into your D3 T-well window to free the organic counterclockwise spin of the D2 telluric physical Gruel radial body with its inherent D2 pentagel circulation. Exhale, pushing a pale aqua living water spark from the water seed up to the top point of your pentagonal grail window and into your D3 T-well window. Just take a couple of easy breaths before the next step. Just breathe easy. I'm going to read, there is one step and one to follow. I'm going to read the one to follow. Next step would be an inhale. I'm going to read the one that follows that. It reads, raise the left arm fully. This is why you're holding the breath at the top. Raise the left arm fully over your head, then exhale forcefully while using the left hand on an extended arm to push over the head towards the right. This is what Ash and I demonstrated on stage earlier. In synchronization with the release of the exhale. So you're pushing as if to mimic using the breath to begin the counterclockwise rotation. And this is manually setting the D2 telluric physical Gruel radial body and pentagel circulation into its organic counterclockwise spin while keeping the D2 Gruel three-dimensional pentagonal grail window stationary. Okay? So, go take the inhale now and hold at the top. You're breathing into the pentagonal grail window 4 feet above your head. That's where you're holding. Now raise your left arm above your head. And when you exhale, you're going to synchronize this. You're going to push your left towards the right across the top of your head. So it's synchronized to manually set the D2 telluric's physical Gruel radial body into its clockwise spin. Go. And then quickly observe as the D2 Gruel radial body and pentagel circulation begin a slow counterclockwise spin. The top point of the D2 pentagel star slowly beginning rotation towards the right. Now visualize or intend this slow beginning motion moving from above your head, from the left as it were, across to the right shoulder, moving down towards the right waist, moving down on past the right calf, slowly approaching the right foot. Now, when this point reaches the position of the right foot, inhale quickly upward from below the feet, using the breath to draw the top point. It's facing down, this point. Drawing that upward and from the feet towards the left arm and upward. Drawing that very original top point up towards the left, completing its first full counterclockwise rotation. So the beginning point began 4 feet above your head. It's coming all the way up the left side of your body now, coming all the way up until it reaches its top start position. Now then, the next step is to repeat 3 more of these breaths, exactly the same. So you inhale first and hold and build charge. Then you exhale and push the point 4 feet above your head down, across your right shoulder and down the right side of your body. You sense when it approaches your right foot, and you inhale and essentially help to pull it up back to its top start position. And repeat that process twice more, please. Now, Section D is very short and sweet, but we have others to follow this. Section D is about accelerating the D2 Grual radial body and pentagel circulation to its organic autopilot, automatic self-sustained spin speed. So bring your attention now, please, to the Azure water seed. With your attention at the Azure water seed, inhale into the water seed and hold at the top of the inhale. Hold. You're going in a minute to exhale gently, using the breath to push a 12-point starburst of living water hydrolase from the Azure water seed outward into the 12 Illyrian chambers of your Auger hydroacoustic body. As you exhale the 12-point starburst of living water outwards through the 12 Illyrian chambers, feel the spin speed of your D2 Grual radial body and pentagel circulation naturally and automatically increase, whilst your 3D dimensional pentagonal Grail window remains stationary. Just breathe easy. And we're about to move into Section E. Almost the final stage, but not quite. This is amplifying the spin speed of the D2 Grual radial body and pentagel circulation to critical mass quantum spin. I'm going to read this step through before we do it. You will next engage, please, a cycle of 12 spin speed escalation breaths, using the same process of the D2 counterclockwise spin breaths, which is the exhale down right and the inhale up left, but implement the power of spin speed escalation progression by mentally using the verbal affirmation command of the power of 1, the power of 2, the power of 3, etc., up to the power of 12, employing this affirmation command in the following way. Exhale 1 down right and mentally intone the words the power of, and in this case of the first exhale, the power of 1, as you send the top point of your D2 pentagel star counterclockwise downward right from its top up position over your head, rotating in a counterclockwise downward, blah, blah, blah. We know that part. Okay? And then you will then do the inhale 1 up left and mentally intone the number count 1. So, simplified, we're going to do what we've just done, but on the first breath, we're going to inhale first, then exhale, and we're going to say the power of 1, and push down the right side of the body to the foot, and then we're going to inhale up to the left, and we will mentally intone the number count 1 again. So, power of 1. And we bring the pentagel back up to above our heads, And then the next thing we'll do is we'll inhale and exhale again, pushing down to the right, and we will say the power of 2. Push down to the foot. Inhale, power of 2. Come up to the top start position again. Do the inhale, exhale, push down the right side, power of 3. Okay? We all clear? Now you're going to do that 12 times. Start out quite slowly, because you'll find that as you do this, the natural tendency in your field, the quickening will reflect in your breathing, and you don't want to go too quick too soon, because you'll be getting to going like that. Okay? Take advice from someone who knows. Now, beloveds, do you understand? All right. So then, in your own time, you're going to use the self-same breaths, beginning with inhale, exhale, power of 1 down the right side, gets to the right foot. Inhale, pull up, commanding power of 1 until it comes back to start. Then inhale, exhale, down the right side, power of 2, and so on until you've completed power of 12 and brought your pentagel circulation and your Gruel radial body and all the structures relating to it back to the start position. Good job, everybody. And now the final stage this evening, section F, which is anchoring the organic spin and overcoming environmental drag. Hallelujah. After completion of the cycle of 12 spin speed escalation breaths, return to normal breathing and observe the sensation of your D2 Gruel radial body and pentagel circulation spinning counterclockwise steadily and rapidly around your body within your stationary three-dimensional pentagonal Grail window. The inorganic D2 reverse clockwise spin that currently exists within a portion of Earth's split D2 radial body field will create an environmental drag and will attempt to reverse the spin of the manually set D2 counterclockwise organic spin of your D2 Gruel radial body and pentagel circulation. Continue for a moment observing the counterclockwise spin of your D2 Gruel and radial body and pentagel circulation. And when you sense that its counterclockwise spin speed is slowing due to the environmental drag, or if you sense that your D2 Gruel radial body and pentagel circulation has already reversed back to inorganic D2 counterclockwise spin, which is conceivable, inhale into the Azure water seed and hold at the top of the inhale to build charge and thrust. Now I really want you to hold this inhale breath, it's important. When you exhale, you use the breath to send a pale aqua living water spark from the azure water seed vertically upward through your central vertical column and directly into the top point of your stationary three-dimensional pentagonal grail window 4 feet directly above your head. Now give it some. All the way up into your pentagonal grail window 4 feet above your head. And once the water spark interfaces with the window, inhale into the water spark and hold at the top of the inhale breath to build charge once more. Another forceful exhale will be required. The breath will be used to mentally push the water spark and your D2 Gruel radial body and pentagel circulation from the grail window top point in an arc towards the right. Exhale forcefully. Out in an arc to the right. When the spark in its rotation to the right approaches the position beneath your feet, inhale the water spark from beneath your feet upward through your central vertical column, through the azure water seed and the catheric duct 4 fontanelle, and out to your D3 Tiwa window 6 feet above and behind your head. When the water spark interfaces with your D3 Tiwa window, exhale gently, releasing the water spark to the Tiwa window, and return to normal breathing. Your D2 Gruel radial body and pentagel circulation is now anchored on organic spin and will remain so until your three-dimensional pentagonal grail window enters dormancy. And a closing note, your D2 Gruel window, D2 cellular atomic pentagonal transduction flows and Gruel flows, the D3 atmic I am ego self to D2 telluric cellular atomic I am body consciousness are all now activated, and your D2 Gruel radial body and pentagel circulation is activated and anchored at critical mass quantum spin within your stationary 3D dimensional pentagonal grail window. The D2 Gruel radial body and pentagel circulation activation and opening and activation of your three-dimensional pentagonal grail window are permanent. But cancel that. However, after about 15 to 30 minutes of completing this technique, your three-dimensional grail window will disappear and enter dormancy, suspending the D2 spins and flows. Oh. So what to do? Final stage before I send you to bed. Rapid animation of the grail window. Yeah. In the future, to bring your three-dimensional pentagonal grail window out of dormancy and your D2 spins and flows out of suspension is a simple two-step process. What to do? Take one forceful inhale breath into the azure water seed. No need to do it now, you're okay. Hold the breath at the top of the inhale to build charge. Bring the palms together up front, in front of your chest, in an open clap position. Like bring your hands up in front of your chest as if you're going to clap them, but you haven't clapped them yet. Exhale forcefully while quickly clapping the palms together in front of the azure and giving the mental command, the power of 12. Then rapidly inhale again while extending your palms to an exaggerated open clap position with your fingertips pointing outward to the sides at approximately 45 degrees. That's all you have to do. As a result of this, your D2 Gruel pentagonal grail window and D2 spins and flows will automatically pop into anchored critical speed activation. The more often this rapid animation of the grail window movement is practiced, the longer the fields will stay animated after activation. In time, with practice of this movement, the same result can be achieved by stealth, so to speak, by using only the etheric hands to pop the fields into activation. So, in mixed company, you will be able to pop everything back just the way you would like it to be without anyone else knowing you've done it.
Isn't that neat? I will add one last thing. Ma pointed out to me that because I was trying to be very brief earlier, and because Asha too was being moved by the same line, I just wanted to add a couple of points. The things that we say when we say these things to you are strictly entirely to do because we are both aware that you are, in the ways and words of 3D, you're special people, though we don't walk around thinking I'm special, you're special. There's no need for any of that. But our words are shared because we are concerned that you are aware and that you maintain and build your awareness and utilize these techniques to do the things that we know are the dearest things you could ever possibly achieve for yourselves and all those that you love, and all of the things that you love beyond the other people, and even those who don't love you too well. The two descriptions, they're both entities that we both use today. They're separate but closely related. Have an extremely deep interest in harnessing your progress. And that's why we speak as we do. I'll leave you with one thought. That's all tonight. As encouragement, not as in any kind of chastisement. But in 2002, Bermuda, I believe, I asked the brave crew that were there, how many, what proportion were aware that they made inferior choices of the range of choices they could make. And they were honest enough to indicate roughly 80% of the Azarites gathered said, yes, I know, I do. The reason why they do is because they're helped to do that by entities that are outside of themselves. But they're coming in so close now because they're so anxious about the progress we're making that they will, in their own ways, attempt to interfere with your progress as much as they can. And that is the reason for my personal caution from today. And I understand that is the sentiment I shared with you also. It's coming from a place of deep and abiding love, believe me. God bless and good sleep to all of you. We're done for today.
This one on camera, please. The Water's Edge. Great spirits. Excellent job, guys. The wave has begun. We've made the link. And now, you can breathe. As the next one comes on, we need to ride the songs all the way through as a wave. Okay?
Great Spirit above and below us, your power is everything we see. Great Spirit around and within us, your love is everything that we need. May our hearts be as light as the winged ones, our trust as strong as the stones, our visions vast as the ocean, our truth as bright as the sun. For all these blessings we give thanks. Teach us the sacred and the true. Help us to find our way back home into our hearts with you.
I think of this as a Jeshua song.
Sure, the doctors called it death, but I was only out of breath. Breathing down comes easy, dear, up here in the stratosphere. They let my ashes blow high, the skies go. Everywhere I want to be, secure, shameless, free. Forever and forever and forever. Oh, please don't miss me. I'm not gone. I'm not gone. Oh, I'm not gone. I love you so very much. We'll forever be in touch. You're just as close to me as the beach is to the sea. I saw the slippers angels wear, so I special ordered you a pair. Mine don't work so good right now, but I know you'll show me how. Forever and forever and forever. Oh, please don't miss me. I'm not gone. I'm not gone. Oh, I'm not gone. We're so rarefied, everything seems clarified. There is no time, just space in this divinely heaven place. Everything up here's alive, be impatient till you arrive. Up here in the firmament, we'll make a home that's permanent. Forever and forever and forever. Oh, please don't release me. I'm just soaring high in the sky each day on the wind that took my breath away. I'm not gone. I'm not gone. No, I'm not gone. I'm not gone. No, I'm not gone. I'm not gone. I'm not gone. Let your body sway with it. Feel it. Feel the music right down to your jari. Feel the BPR.
Thank you, Suchi, for bringing us these beautiful gifts. Suchi Waters, thank you for all of these songs. These are Suchi Waters songs.
That was her daddy's song.
And that was her daddy's song. The lyrics written by her daddy. Now the BPR is going to pick up a bit. Time to put on some spirited attitude.
Can I have a look at the words?
Yes.
I mean, I can't jump up and down and read at the same time.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'll hold them, you jump, right?
We build walls when we ought to be building bridges.
Well, we're going for this.
And we lose touch when we ought to be holding on. And we hold out when we really should be giving. And we hold on when we're holding on to nothing at all. Freedom from fear of certain failure. Freedom from the bar we place across every door. Freedom from the things we just imagine. Freedom from all that came before. Get into it. We speak out when we took so much in silence. And we think twice when we shouldn't think at all. And we give in when we should stand and speak our truth. We give up. It's going, gone. Freedom from the fear of certain failure. Freedom from the bar we place across every door. Freedom from things they just imagine. From all that came before. Use your feet as drums. Freedom from fear of certain failure. Freedom from the bar we place across every door. Freedom from things we just imagine. Freedom from all that came before. Freedom. Freedom from fear and failure, hunger and greed. Freedom from jealousy, pride, anger, and hypocrisy. Freedom from everything you want, you really don't need. Freedom from glamour, illusion, and insurance companies. Woo! Atomic bombs and wars and penitentiaries. Freedom from pain and sorrow and poor pitiful me. Freedom from sickness, suffering, and ignorance and poverty. Freedom from all bondage. Freedom just to be. Freedom! 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 Yes. Excellent, guys. Thank you again, Suchi Waters, for that amazing song. Hope you liked our embellishments. Now, shift in BPR. Losing my swing. Would you hold that, please?
Yeah. String it up.
Back in the garden, the spring is ever flowing. Back in the garden, the leaves are gently blowing, and the birds, they sing so sweetly, and my heart feels so complete. This must be paradise. This must be paradise.
I love this one.
You led us here, and with your heart and hands all knowing, we built a place to keep our dreams growing, where the angels whisper through the breeze, the songs that heal and bring us peace. This must be paradise. This must be paradise. Listen to the distant cry as the world goes rushing by, with too much greed and too much pride for this simple way of life. And how long must we suffer before we can rediscover the earth? She is our mother, and we must live as brothers. We hope to return to paradise. If we hope to return to paradise. Look at how the sunshine dances with the trees. Look at how the moonlight reflects upon the stream. And every creature, large and small, lives together, 'cause nature loves them all. We're in paradise. Listen to the distant cry as the world goes rushing by, with too much greed and too much pride for this simple way of life. For this simple way of life. Back in the garden, the spring is ever flowing. Back in the garden, the leaves are gently blowing. This must be paradise. This must be paradise. This must be paradise. peace with your silent memories. Be at peace with your own heart. Yesterday blinds you 'cause he is not beside you. But you don't need to play that part. Set your dreams on new horizons. Set your mind on bluer skies. You can't blame love, for you can't tame love. And you don't need those alibis. Be at peace with the hurt inside you. Don't let it guide you. Don't wear its chains. Be as one with the truth you must live. Be as one with your own heart inside. Be at peace with your restless longing. Be at home with your new life. You let your weakness have its moment. Now let your wisdom shine its light to child inside. She didn't give me those words. She didn't give me those words when she sent these. With the hurt inside you, don't let it guide you. Don't wear its chains. Be as one with the truth you must live. Be as one with your own heart inside. Be at peace with your own heart. was a child, I just wanted to be free, to run and play and live outside, just happy to be me. The earth, she was my friend, the stars my inspiration. Little did I know I had it all. Oh, I had it all. So I left my true companions, the trees, the birds, the canyons, went out on my own to see what I could find. Went to school, learned all the rules, became bewildered and confused, while the child within sat quietly waiting, locked in a cage of my own making. Oh, why could not realize that all I needed was right there inside? Call it hope, call it faith, call it love, call it grace. All I needed was right there inside. The time of change has come at last. The world has learned from the past that fear and separation bring more sorrow and pain. The answers lie within our hearts. Within each life there is a spark, a flame of truth to light the way. Oh, and we realize that all we need is right there inside. Oh, we realize that all we need is right there inside. Call it hope, call it faith, call it love, call it grace. All I needed was right there inside. Are you willing to change? Are you willing to try? 'Cause there's nothing to gain from living a lie. So open your heart in the Christic way and open your mind. Let the child inside guide you one step at a time. Call it hope, call it faith, call it love, call it grace. All we need is right there inside. Oh, just let Spirit be your guide. Just let Spirit be your guide. All we need is right there inside. That was on the original one. Now, go into the house of La
And anybody, we don't have all of the printouts on these. A lot of them are our songs that they have done in their way. So if you know them, sing along. If you don't, bop along, hum along, have a good time, bounce, whatever. Keep the wave running, because it is a live wave going out from Virginia Beach via the Azurite Councils. Right? Keep it going, guys. Next, please. Next songs. Come on. Change the disc. Right. Thank you very much, Suchi Waters, for that last set of songs were hers. Here we go. This is the Australian crew. You turn it up a bit, please, guys, back there. Turn it up. Up. Song. Up. Yeah, all right. Volume up, please. Volume up, everybody. Thank you.
This one's for you. For all the tears you cried, and for all the loves that's come and gone through your lives. A simple soul song with melody and rhyme, strumming all my broken heartstrings right in time. one's for you. And sing out all your sorrow. And stand up strong and tall to face the sun. It's one time for you. When you finally sing it your way, just dance on up the road till your song is done. Where will it go? What direction will it take you? If you follow in your heart, where will it go? In the end, all roads lead us back to spirit. We always end up somewhere to call home. This one's for you. Just dance until tomorrow. And all is now, tomorrow never comes. It's one time for you. When you finally do things your way, just dance on up the road till your song is done. Just dance. Where will you go? What direction will it take you? If you follow in your soul, where will it go? It's in the end, all roads lead us back to spirit. You always end up somewhere to call home. This one's for you. Just dance until tomorrow. When all is now, tomorrow never comes. It's one time for you. When you finally do things your way, just dance on up the road till your song is done. Just dance on up the road till your song is done. Just dance on up the road till your song is done. Just dance on up the road till your song is done. Just dance on up the road till your song is done. That was the Cantarian Passage Procyon Requiem, just so we know, done by the House of Law from Australia. And more of the House of Law coming now.
That was the Song of Jaya, the Gaian Passage Lullaby. All of these songs from the House of La are ones that were brought through that open gates. They're gate call songs. So just in case anybody didn't know that, right, I want to put that on for official purposes on the film. Next one, please. Yeah. Song to Safe Passage to Heaven. The Cantarian Passage Song. Requiem, I think. No, song, yeah. Makanya more for the Predator. Yishma Askante, Disha Mama is related ba.
The many messages of the lower world of density and meta manifestation.
Kayin Shamasha in the Pathway by Postleto. As most are nice, Mama died per Kitaya Baso. In a marking line so, Beast can have so over this. I would own packing and Desa. Water, Yade, a Mashukin anti the Christ. Din a mana threto is paratuaste patot sista kobaste of the voja trupa gaitado ushare gabaje modabe ushala Quero here, Jashanore, Injala Gornde Tiamade, Injala Mo, Si Jua, Jiwa and Sha. What direction will it take you? If you're following your soul, where will it go? In the end, all roads lead us back to spirit. So you always end up somewhere to go home. Ushalera zomare bidane Wishamale ataeto Cantinta Moredio.
Najamatedor, Yeshamatedor. Azara came through live on that one, by the way. Don't know what she said, but it felt very important. Made me cry, actually. Next one, please. Yeah, here we go. Time to get the feet out. Ria Vea un cristallo, Ria Vea be with me.
was Azurite's version of a rave. Oh, we need the light sticks. We got to do the light sticks someday. You know, with the lights off and you just see the light movements. Yeah, I've never been to a rave, but yeah, I've heard about them.
Well, you have now.
Next. Now we bring it down again. With God, be joy, be now as one with God. Be love, be now as one with God. Be peace, be now as one with God. Be whole, be now as one with God. Be free, be now as one with God. Be still, be now as one with God. Be joy, be now as one with God. Be love, be now as one with God. Be peace, be now as one with God. Be whole, be now as one with God. Be free, be now as one with God. Be still, be now as one with God. Be joy, be now as one with God. Be love, be now as one with God. Be peace, be now as one with God. Be whole, be now as one with God. Be free, be now as one with God. I am this now, I am. 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 I am safe in God's universe now. I am loved and I am loved. I am innocent. I am healed. I know my eternal truth now. I am my eternal truth now. I am one with God now. I am expressed as God now. And so it is.
And so it is.
I am my Masha yourself now, and serve as a continuously flowing fountain of Christic wisdom that teaches the actions of life with the full expression of love.
Apart from being enormously effective, it's absolutely lovely.
I am one with the cosmic mind. I am held gently at all times within the love of the original one, the true God of creation. I am strong and resolute in my calling. I hear the call of my sacred original divine self, my God self leading me on. I am clear of mind and vision, as
have 2 more songs left in the wave, and then we'll be done. We're going to do a CD change, and now these will be from Hear the Sacred Call from Taylor and Kaiva. So these will wrap it up. There are 2 songs that are coming. They're coming. Command tones of the Jeshua Code. They were the gate codes from here all the way up to M31 in Andromeda. All right, those words you heard were all they were literally the sound tones of the gates that you would call to open a gate. So that's why that had to go in there. So we just laid the whole host in. And there's one more song that's from Taylor and Kaiva's Hear the Sacred Call CD, and it's the Umare Pareon song, and Kaiva put some beautiful words with that. We didn't have time yet to get them, or hope we will be able to give these to you with your packets, but we just got them last night after your packets were handed out. There's a chorus that goes, shine on through the night, and it just repeats that. If you don't know the rest of the song, just please kick in with that one, okay? And this is the wrap-up, so let's make it a good one, all right? Yeah, go for it, guys, on the music there. Yeah. I need those. Mate pateon dio. Mate pateon dio. Mate pateon. Gigi Winter Asia Nita Deo Mate Bateon Dio
Child of the original one, I am a ray of the original sun. I am wholeness now, eternal living light. I am a vessel for thy good works. I am a vessel for thy true joy. Light of the highest heavens shines all through the night. Shine on 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 through the night. You're the shining star, shining everywhere, breathing in the light, shining through the night. Umate pateon, umate pateon, umate pateon, dia. Umate pateon, dia. Umate pateon, dia. Umate pateon, itu entra Asia nika deo. Umate pateon, itu entra Asia nika deo. Excellent job, everybody. Thank you. And that goes out to Jonathan Goldman's crew and Deepak Chopra and everybody that invited us to participate in the Global Sound Healing event for Healing on Earth on September 24th, 2008. Thank you all. They're like, woof, woof, woof. Like you hear at the games, right?
Yo, can you play us out with track 4 of Sushi's Freedom?
Yes. One more time, just yeah. And we're gonna take a break and breathe, perhaps. Wait. What?
Are you going to leave now and go up?
Yeah, probably in a little bit.
Sorry, it's track 1.
I want to come back after dinner, 8:30, because 5 hours is...
Okay. It'll put us to dinner time? Okay. All right. Once we wrap up here, the 5 hours is going to put us in the middle of dinner, and that's a fixed time. So we're gonna start the day's program. Besides this, right after dinner, and we will go till dawn. So if you need to get some sleep, do that. All right. We had to make room for the craziness with this. Thank you for so much. We will speak more about the purpose of this. When we use sound in this way, sound and movement and rhythm, these are literally the languages of the voice, the jari, not only in our atoms, but in the atoms of the planet. So when we use these methods, it's really funny because I had no idea we were going to do this part until they told me when we got here. This goes right in with technique 2 that we're going to use. There's all sorts of interesting little things we have to do that we actually just started to do some of them. That involves with learning to hear the voice, letting the voice of the body speak. So we just got a kind of a preview of what that's going to be, right? What? Did I go away?
I don't know. I hummed for a bit there. Anyway, so what we will do is, because sleep time is useful, especially when we're going to be running, extremely intensive technique sessions, and we're going to run them right through the evening until dawn when we have the final other big event where we do the journey to the Kivas, and then we go outside and open the window, the Gruel window on the median Earth side. So that was our event that we didn't even know coincided with their event. But this was very, very powerful. The amp in the shield, for our shield alone, was huge. And we gave a gift to all those people out there who have been dragged into, say, situations that they didn't really want to be because no one ever gave them the choice. We have anchored the host and sent it out now. We've anchored it before, but we have just sent it out to any and all who need it. And thank you. We couldn't have done it without you. Right? Thank you very much. So right after dinner, we'll be back for technicals and stuff and techniques. When's right after dinner? Probably let's say 8 o'clock. All right? Does that work? I think dinner's over by then. Yeah. Dinner should be over by then. All right? So from 8 till dawn, we'll just go. We'll have little bits, bathroom breaks and stuff there, but yeah, from 8 till 8, basically, we're going to be running. But thank you for your patience with the time schedule shifts. That always happens in Virginia Beach. I don't know why, but it always does. So I guess we can all go and do whatever. I'm dizzy from all of that, honestly. I hope you enjoyed that, participating in that. All right, and this is our going out song, right? This is for us, for our guys, for the beloveds. And to thank again Suchi Waters for her contribution. To thank the House of Law for their contribution. Thank Taylor and Kaiva for their contributions. And thank the other ones from before of that lovely song that I won't mention. We build walls when we ought to be building bridges. And we move touch when we ought to be holding on. It's like a theme song for us. Hold on. When we really should be giving. And we hold on when we're holding on to nothing at all. Freedom from fear of certain failure. Freedom from the bar we place across every door. Freedom from things we just imagine. Freedom from all that came before. Drums. Think drum circle in Sarasota. When we have so much in silence, and we think twice when we shouldn't think at all. And we give in when we should stand and speak our truth. And we give up, then it's going, going, gone. Freedom from fear of certain failure. Freedom from the bar we place across every door. Freedom from things we just imagine. Freedom from all that came before. And that was a lot of stuff. Fear of certain failure. Freedom from the bar we place across every door. Freedom from things we just imagine. Freedom from all that came before. Freedom. Freedom. from fear and failure, hunger and greed. Freedom from jealousy, pride, anger, and hypocrisy. Freedom from everything you want, but really you don't need. Freedom from glamour, illusion, and insurance companies. Woo-hoo! Freedom from atomic bombs and wars and penitentiaries. Freedom from pain and sorrow and poor, pitiful me. Freedom from sickness and suffering, ignorance and poverty. Freedom from all bondage. Freedom just to be. We'll see you for 8 to 8. Okay, 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. for the final wrap-up, and we will cover that program. All right, thank you so much. All right. Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you for your flexibility on time. We literally, I just got done with the last 2 pages of Technique 3. It runs 70 steps. That's a record. I think that's the longest technique we have ever had. And they're all to be run together, right? So that's going to be a long one. But before we can do Technique 3, we need to do the one I've been looking forward to, because this one is so fun. They showed me what this is like and what it's supposed to do. This one we're going to end up having to go in there to do it. And we're going to break up into groups of 6, like you don't have to be too far away from the other group of 6 or whatever, but like smaller kind of study groups of 6 people with like 3 pairs of 2. So you each have a partner, because certain parts of it you need to work with a partner. Now this technique it's actually a therapy that is very, very useful in like therapeutic, even clinical senses if they would try it. Maybe it will go there someday. But it has several purposes. The most important purpose, that's not even written on there, that they told me about, is the technique we do after this, the real long one, is about getting into the Grual space and being able to merge with your jari and set the jari free. All right? To be able to do that, right now we have the jarosh, the twisted part of our jari. It actually forms a net, just like the frequency fence net, running through our bodies. This technique will fight sound with sound, sound and motion with sound and motion. So there's some very funny things that we're going to be doing that are meant to get the emotional energy moving up, meant to get the whole body involved, meant to get the whole structure and the jari, to wake up the jari, right? And give it a chance to start expressing its voice through the body. Because usually the jarosh keeps it silenced. And this is the beginning of being able to shake up the jari enough so we're able to do the next technique. And also at the end of this, we get a very important thing. It's called the jari tone. There's a particular set of tones that will come as a result of doing this. And that is the tone you need to be able to go in to the long technique. The long technique is one of those lay down ones. And hopefully people will stay awake. You know, it's worth staying awake for. There, at the end of this, I forgot something. Oh, do you have it down here? You know that the NASA CD. I'm going to need that at the end of this. The NASA CD. Yes. Is it here? Or there? Okay, I'm going to need it at the end of here. No, we're going to, no. So you don't have to get it right now. But at the end of this, yeah. Well, if you want to, whatever. All right. There's a thing we need at the end of this that I forgot to bring down. It's a CD. Bless him. Oh, that is a long technique. Oh my God. Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes, and the spirit of the technique. We almost got a little bit of this in a more controlled and mundane way this morning, or this afternoon when we did the requiem. But this is called phase toning. Now, there are specific phases of action, sounds, and motions that we do that do what I had explained. It brings the jari up progressively. It's meant to be felt. This is a let loose party. It's almost like the Azerite version of rave with nice tones and things like that, And it's extremely important. So many of us hold our bodies just very tight. We've tried to tune them out as much as possible and go, whatever, and just focus your mind and, be that way. To get back in touch with the body is the first step in being able to get back into elemental command relationship with the body. So it is important. So for people, people go, I don't want to do that. That's the ego mind, right? With the influence of the Jarosh. The Jarosh does not want you to do this because it will shake the Jarosh loose from the Jari to allow the Jari to pull itself out. All right, this is why I haven't ever studied any of the other toning type therapies, but when there are different therapies out there that people have, doctors have and stuff, that they do use toning therapy for certain types of conditions, from psychiatric conditions to sometimes physical health conditions. And they have certain theories, whatever they are. I don't know what their theories are of what they do and why they work, but our guys know what they do. And they said the phase toning is more important than the other types of toning as far as if you're not phase toning, you're not reaching the jari. All right, you can tone to death at the chakras and all of that stuff, and you can get a little bit of result, but it's still bouncing off the jarosh. These type of toning exercises where you really it's almost like primal scream therapy. In fact, there was a screaming part, but we're going to have to make it the silent scream, right? Because we'll have the police here if at this hour of the night you have 150, 200 people screaming their heads off, at the hotel. So we can do the silent scream part. The idea is to get the energy built up, to reach that energy of your jari in your body. So the things that you see listed down at the bottom here, first like moaning and rocking, all right? This is where we just start to get the jari to speak. Just start to get it up. And you don't just go, oh, okay, I'm done with that. I'm going to number 2. No, you have to sit with them and be with them a while. And you do it with a partner. It doesn't matter if you know the person or not. It just, where you do it, right? That's only the first one. Next one, we have self-language. This is where the body has its own language, and everybody's is different, right? This one is absolutely hilarious. It's called letting the emotional body speak. It's called emo-gibber speak. And signing. Emo-gibber speak would be like, and you have 2 people doing it, right? Where they actually take turns speaking the same language. So one will start and go, blah, 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 blah. And the other goes, blah, 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 blah. Right? Let the body move. Let it sound. Let it do funny stuff. And let it laugh too. Laughter is healing because of this. It shakes up the jari. So we're going to have a little bit of going, right? Doing that for a bit. Next, this one was going to be real fun, but we have to tone it down just a little. The directed scream and flailing. For a while, not just, I did it once now. Right? This type of stuff. Getting the emotional energy, which is part of your jari, up and moving in the body and connecting with the 3D mind. This is all very important, even though it looks funny and all that. It is funny. It's very healing and therapeutic. When they just ran me through, because I'm saying, you do what? And they're going, moan. No. And they went, in my head. And they go, right? Oh, so they walked me through each of these things, right? And this is only the sounds. We're not doing too much yet. Then we've got laughter and bouncing. That's when we do the and it gets so stupid that eventually you do really start laughing. And of course you're bouncing too, right? And you're doing this, you can be sitting on the floor. Some of these will be sitting, some will be standing, some, I don't know if any of them will be laying down. But we get into the laughter and bouncing thing. So it's actually moving the energy in different ways. First, it's letting the pain level out with the moaning and rocking. It's a very therapeutic level. Then there's under the pain, there was a reason for it. And your emotional body will tell you, oh, okay, right? You need to let it speak, right? Then the directive scream lets the rage that's under all that to come out. Then it becomes funny. Then it's like, all that negative muck is released, and you go into the, all right, that's not too bad. Yeah. Yeah, and usually there's something silly that happens that when you try to make yourself laugh, you usually can't. But there's usually something that will happen, or somebody will do something, and it starts. And especially in a group, if you hit just a little bit of spark in the group, and a couple of people, where they go, right, yeah, it was like, and everybody laughs for a while. Hopefully it will move into that. You know, if we have enough synchronization with our own selves and with the whole group, we may actually get a really good laugh therapy session out of it as well. Then we go into two-syllable comfort tones. So all this it got rid of the pain levels, let the body speak, let the primal scream stuff out, and not just with sound, with movement that goes with it. So it goes right through the body cells and all of that, and you move as much as you can and, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, you don't have to, like, flail around and hurt yourself. You know, it's nothing that extreme. But then you have two-syllable comfort tone repetitions and rocking and swaying and bouncing. This is where you start taking it back down again. All right, you got the pain off, you got the frustrated energy out, you got the layers of the jaroche temporarily off you. So now you can go back into almost like rocking yourself like you'd rock a baby. The soothing stuff will come out. And the body will know its tones. There are no tones that we say, here, you tone this or you tone that. Each one of your bodies will have its own set. And by working in pairs, in like a little bit larger group, because sometimes you can decide to switch off if you want to, but in working in pairs, you have another person that's actually listening to you and talking back to you in that language, and you do the same for them. You take turns with it. It's much more healing, and it helps amplify to help get more of it out of you. These are going to be part of the therapies once we get the official, like the full set of techniques that are going to end up actually being part of like spa technology stuff. It's going to be stepped down in a way that they can be used. This would be like the beginning of a hydroacoustic session where you put them into the tubs after that, put people into the tubs after that to do the soaks and get there's certain things we would do with, we're designing certain specialized tubs. They're kind of like a version of a hot tub, but they don't exactly work like a hot tub, where actually the person, your facilitator, actually gets in the water with you, in bathing suits, of course, and the person lays down, and they get the therapy actually done on them in the water. And there's certain things that we're going to use, like a sound with the water as well. So this would be the part you do before that, because they were showing us how to design, like, all right, what type of space do you need to give one of these healings? They said you basically need two rooms. You need a tub room, and then you need a separate room with a mat in it. Is that a mat? They said you could put a massage table over in the corner, too, if you wanted to, but you need a mat. And I was like, okay, we're doing something on the floor? Yeah, what? You'll see. This has something to do with what you do on the floor. You would actually encourage, a facilitator would be taught to encourage the person to bring this out. They'd explain why, and they would start bringing it out. And as soon as they got some tones out, or moans from them, the facilitator would start talking back to the other one, moaning, and in their same language, same tones. And that would change it. And then it would, people who are willing to work that way for self-healing would get a lot of benefit out of that. So this is part of what is going to be the official technology, but we've never done it and never done it before at all. I've done a little bit of it when they were showing me. I did what? Right? We get down into the comfort tones. These would be 2 syllables, where the other ones, they can have whatever they want. They're just coming out. Then you start to control the wave, because what you're doing is releasing a wave of energy. Part of the wave of energy, the first part that comes off, will be the jaroche energy, and then the part underneath it is where the jari starts to be able to come up and to relax and to speak. And then once it does, you begin to move it into a calmer, more directed space. So you give it the 2-syllable frame. So a 2-syllable tone would be just like, instead 1 syllable would be like, duh, doesn't matter what, that's 1. But 2 would be like, no, but that's 3. Right? That kind. Or, it doesn't have to be ahs either. It could be ohms, it could be grrrs, it could be whatever. You can growl, whatever the body wants to do. But it would be 2 of them, if it, instead of 1 tone. Then that goes in, and that you do swaying, rocking, and bouncing, and that's pretty much sitting down. So you're not like, you don't have to sway, rock, and bounce all over and fall down type stuff. This is so you just sit down with this one. and just kind of sway and rock and bounce a little bit, sitting on the floor or on a chair, just to release it and still keep the movement going, because you're moving the kundalini when you're doing that. You're keeping the kundalini currents moving, and that helps that wave come out. And then we would go into the 3 and 4 syllable communicative tone repetitions. So if you had the 2 syllable, like, and you're like doing this, we're going to sound like birds at that point. Like, just to sound like those birds in the tropical forests. Think about the tones that communicate with it. And yeah, you can hear it, like in places like Florida and stuff. You hear these wild, neat sounds, like, and they're the same tones. They repeat to each other, the same tones. So we're going to be kind of like doing bird talk there. We get into 3 and 4 syllables. You got, first you like do 3, like, no, then you go, and it's not just one tone without inflection. You can use the same tone, but give it the inflection, the emotional inflection. It opens up a whole new layer of communication between you and your body, and between your conscious mind and your body conscious mind. So that's why they're doing this, teaching us this. Then we get into these. If that weren't bad enough, and wild and weird enough, we get into the ahs and shakes. Ahs and shakes are interesting. Can you hold this for a minute, please, darling? Can you hold this for a minute, please? I can't do ahs and shakes with the mic.
I knew someone once who could get their tongue around their eyes,
The next one is low hums and leg drums. This is done sitting down. You can sit on the floor or on a chair. And you say, and while you're doing,
As a matter of thoughtfulness, we've arranged not to put the camera on you when you do this, okay?
Right. We'll just be doing the audios on it. Yeah. Yeah, just for an example, because we're going to eventually do a video with like people that don't mind being like facilitators that want to do like a facilitation video or something, But we're not going to film all you doing this. I don't even like the fact that I'm being filmed doing it. But hey, whatever. Everybody thinks I'm weird anyway. The higher hums and body drums are next. And that's where if you're going, before you jump it up a notch. Then you start doing the body thing and you hit certain spots. You start with down here and you kind of do a rolling. Here. Excuse me.
Yes.
Whatever rhythm you want. That kind of thing. And then, right? You actually move the energy with the drumming on the body. And let your body set the rhythm. If you want it slow, let it be slow. Let your body choose what rhythm it wants. And it'll change. Every time you do an extra one of these type of sessions, you get completely different tone. You get different jari. So you don't have to remember your jari tone. Sorry. Every time you would do this exercise, you would get a different set of tones, because your body is a dynamic being. Its consciousness is dynamic. It changes from one moment to the next, and therefore its tones change. Even the jari tone would sound different from one day to the next, so you don't have to worry about remembering it and recording it, because if I ever forget my jari tone, oh no. It will give you a new one every time you run the exercise, and it comes from you. But the tone comes at the end. The jari tone comes at the end. And then after we do the higher hums and body drums, then there's hyper breath and booty shaking. And these would be more shallow, rapid breaths, and shaking your booty, right? And you'd like then stop for a little bit and they go again, right? So you do several rounds of it, that kind of thing. Then the last one before we get into the stillness, we have the hypo breath and mime stretch. That's where you put it all in slow motion. We do this slow, deep breathing. Slow motion movements. That kind of thing. And remember, you're doing this with a partner, which really helps because if you laugh during it, it's okay. It is all right. That's natural. That's part of the jari coming up. And so it's not something that's bad. It's meant to be enjoyed. That joy is something that helps the jari come up. The jari is bringing the joy up. The jari brings the joy up. So, because we have a lot to cram in between now and dawn, we're going to get going with this one right after. By the end, though, in the last one, you find the stillness. This is when you just stop it all. Right? Go very quiet. Breathe at a slow but natural rhythm, and just listen inside. And experience the silence and the stillness after all that motion and commotion, right? And it puts you in an interesting state, just a little bit. Only like for 4 seconds they had me do each one, so I knew what they were talking about. And I felt completely different. I felt much better, actually. By the end, I was like, oh, thanks, guys. Boy, that'd be really cool to really do it, and not just go, okay, do it, and then I do what next? Yeah. So we're going to do this one because the next one that we will do, Az is going to run Technique 3, bless him. Right. At this point, I'm so tired of looking at Technique 3, I could scream. It's been 3 days of straight transmission on that one, but it is a wonderful technique. It's an activations technique, but it takes you on a wonderful, wonderful journey into your body consciousness, and it literally takes you down. And this is why it's so long. It takes you in stages and moves the consciousness down deeper and down deeper, moving you into the alpha type state, and where you can find and first hear the voice and then merge with the jari and reclaim your jari, and then move your jari for the first time out, part of it, not all of it, part of it out of the atomic structure and into the natural station of consciousness it was supposed to be in the first place, which was in the opened grail door. The process of bringing the jari through into the grail window areas that we already will have activated, will actually start the process of opening the full grail door set. And we'll finish that in the 4th technique as far as opening the door. But we actually get the jari through with us. We blend our consciousness. And what we're blending is our D3 and our D2 consciousness. They were always supposed to be able to travel and blend. It gives us a space. First of all, it frees the jari. The jari in our bodies, since fetal integration was locked because those windows and doors were closed. So the jari could never move into its natural station of consciousness in the window areas around the body. And this is going to free the jari to do that, and you'll be with the jari when it happens. And it also gets us into the space of being able to do what's called a look-back view. Well, once you get into this space, you can look back on the body, and you won't just see the dot matrix stuff that we've talked about that's on the Adore side, where you can see our infrasound template that holds us together here, where you can see it in light. We've always had to flip over to the Adore side to do that. This place, this Grual, or Grail state, is right in between the two, so you can just look back at the body, and it lights up. And so you don't have to flip over and try to see the dot matrix or any of that. It is the direct core programming center of the hydroacoustic body, the density 1 hydroacoustic body. And it is from there that all of the other aquatone techniques will be run in the future, getting into that space. Then what you see the body looks like, first of all, it looks like it's made of bright white light, but it still has the shape of itself, right? But it's all like geometric forms and all sorts of live, wild things like moving or dancing all over it. And you can learn to interact directly, take out forms that feel or look wrong, that don't belong there, colors that don't, move them and put something that does belong there back in. It's also the place where you can plant direct manifestation very, very easily without having to drop it up and drop it down and all that kind of stuff that we have to do, at this time to use the materialization techniques. So this is a whole new level that we're opening tonight. So this is the first stage. Second stage is the long one that Az will run. And then you'll get a break, like 15-minute break or whatever for bathroom or to wake up again after the real long one. And then he'll go right back in to the first part of the 4th technique. And the fourth technique is just finishing opening of the Grail door, the full door. We started the opening actually with 3, but it doesn't talk about that much. But it's the full opening and getting the flows going in the door, in the Grail door. In 4, there's a second part to 4. We won't have it typeset, but I'm going to get they're going to show me how to do it. They said it's not very long. I'm open, but once we get all of those things done, then it shows us how to set the counter-rotating fields in motion, where we have the D2 and the D3 level. One spins one direction, one spins the other. And that's what begins to make us where we are able to begin, first of all, the bilocation type slide. And I think they're going to teach us that part of it right before or as we're going into the journey to the kivas. So we're actually going to use those activated fields to go on that journey, and that's going to be a first too. We've never done one with the pentagonal flows and the doors and windows open before, so this ought to be interesting. But we got to start with waking up the Jari and getting some of the Jarosh off of us. And that's going to be this. So we've got to move out there for this. And like, if you can, just kind of like with yourselves, move yourselves into groups of 3 people where you'll pair off in 2s in that group. And then you can switch off sometimes if you want to. What?
Are you running this now,
No.
or when they're finished?
When they're finished with this. Okay. So I hope you will enjoy this. What? I'm sorry, what?
Before we start take 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. 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 Alrighty. So I hope you will enjoy this. I hope this becomes as fun as it could be. It'll also wake us up enough to not go totally asleep by the time we get into the next technique.